hot off the presses. According to league insiders, DeWanna Bonner has no interest in returning to the Indiana Fever.
Natasha Howard just lit up Instagram, and she wasn't holding back. After DeWanna Bonner suddenly walked away from the Indiana Fever mid-season, Howard came through with a not-so-subtle post that sent shockwaves through the league. The shade, so loud you didn't even need eyes to see it. Just check the comment section. Howard didn't drop names, but everyone knew who she was talking about. The message was clear. Real ones don't quit on their team, especially not in the middle of the grind. While Bonner dipped out without warning, Natasha made it known she's here to fight, here to stay, and not about to run when things get tough. And now the question is, was Natasha Howard right to call her out like that? Or did she go too far? Let us know what you think in the comments below.
I'm gonna keep it all the way 100. This was the most unprofessional way of going about things that you could have possibly went. Because I genuinely, the way she went about it, I really thought it was something really bad happened. And what made me start to question her reasoning was, I was like, Alyssa Thomas is playing. You know, Steph White's case, she was out for personal reasons, but Lisa was also out. So we were like, okay, it's probably something personal in the family. The DeWanna Bonner situation, she said, oh, out for personal reasons, but Alyssa Thomas was playing.
Alright y'all, we need to break down what just happened between Natasha Howard and DeWanna Bonner, because this just went from team tension to full-blown WNBA drama. Bonner didn't just leave, she bailed on the Indiana Fever in the middle of the season, walking away when her squad needed her most. And Natasha? She wasn't about to let that slide. She spoke out, loud and clear, and making it known she's not here for teammates who disappear when things get tough.
Was the Atlanta Dream game. I actually got to attend that game, and we have not seen her since. It's been said that she was out for personal reasons. People didn't know if this was a family issue, a health problem, a possible retirement. Looks like none of that. Looks like the fit just was off from the beginning. We're going to look at the story in just a second, but that's first my thoughts on it. I think this sucks, obviously, because she was going to be counted on to be a big contributor.
So here's the deal. DeWanna Bonner, the seasoned vet, the supposed leader with championship experience, was expected to help guide Caitlin Clark and this young Indiana Fever squad to greatness. But instead, she bounced. No injury, no trade, no release. She just straight up walked away. From the team, from her contract, from everything. Why? Because it wasn't going the way she wanted. And while Bonner dipped, Natasha Howard, who's been grinding every night even when the fit wasn't perfect, saw all of it and said, nah, not letting this slide. She jumped on her Instagram story with lyrics from a track called We Not Done. And if you think that was just a coincidence, you probably still believe in fairy tales.
Minutes ago, obviously after the whole DeWanna Bonner situation, immediately posting song lyrics to a song called We Not Done. We Not Done. Yeah, we not done. She's out going posting We Not Done. And I don't know, again, I'm not going to say there's a shot at DeWanna Bonner, because at the end of the day, there is a non-zero chance that she sat down all the team, apologized to the team, said it wasn't working out, and while they'll be pissed, maybe.
But wait, it gets juicier. Natasha Howard didn't just stop at a cryptic song lyric. She unfollowed DeWanna Bonner on social media, then refollowed her. Yeah, we're officially in high-level WNBA drama territory. When pros start playing follow-unfollow games online, you know things are messy behind the scenes. And the timing? That's what made everything crystal clear. Just 54 minutes after the news broke about Bonner walking away, Howard drops that We Not Done lyric on her story. Come on now, that's not about staying focused. That's a direct shot, and she didn't stop there. Howard followed up with another post saying she's not quitting on her team and plans to respond with her game. Translation: while one player dipped, she's staying in the fight. The message wasn't just loud, it was personal. Everyone watching could connect the dots. No names needed.
So that said, DeWanna Bonner listed Phoenix as one of her preferred destinations.
What makes this entire situation even more outrageous is the fact that DeWanna Bonner was brought in to be the veteran presence. The steady, calming influence for a young Indiana Fever team learning how to handle the spotlight. But instead of leading by example, she was the first to walk away when things got tough. Some leadership, huh? Indiana didn't just bring her in for fun, they gave her a $200,000 contract, banking on her championship experience to guide Caitlin Clark and the rest of the squad. And after just 14 games, Bonner decided she was done. No injury, no trade, no team release. She simply tapped out, like a kid who doesn't like the rules and takes her ball home. Meanwhile, Natasha Howard, the player many labeled a questionable signing, who's been criticized for not being a system fit, has kept her head down and gone to work every night. No excuses. She's adjusted her game, done whatever the coaches asked, and never once made it about herself. She may not be dominating the stat sheet every game, but she's stayed committed, and that alone puts her miles ahead of Bonner. The difference between the two couldn't be more obvious. Howard came in knowing it wouldn't be easy, knowing she'd have to sacrifice, knowing she wouldn't be the star, and she still gave it her all. Bonner came in with the spotlight, with a starting role, with opportunity, and the moment it didn't go her way, she bailed. That's not leadership, that's selfishness. Howard's reaction said everything. When your teammate is so out of pocket that you feel the need to respond publicly, on Instagram no less, you're clearly not alone in your feelings. Pro athletes usually keep locker room issues private, but Howard must have felt Bonner's decision was such a betrayal it deserved a direct response. And she didn't just post once, she sent multiple signals, posting lyrics, adjusting who she follows, making it absolutely unmissable how she felt. That's not subtle, that's intentional. That's a player sending a message to the team, the fans, and the league. I'm still here, I'm not quitting, we're not done. For the Fever front office, Howard's response was probably a much-needed breath of fresh air. They just watched a key veteran walk out mid-season. A PR nightmare. But in the same moment, another vet steps up and says, "Not me." That's huge. That's leadership. And for the fans, Howard's message was clear. Don't give up on us just because someone else did. Fever supporters have endured years of disappointment. Now that things are finally turning around with Clark and the young core, having someone like Bonner walk away could have crushed the momentum. But Howard's posts were the rally cry fans needed. Then there's the business side. Bonner took the contract, took the paycheck, and walked when it didn't go her way. That's not how professional sports work. You don't get to dip out just because things aren't picture perfect. Howard, on the other hand, has stayed the course. Despite all the ups and downs, the wins aren't where they hoped, and her role isn't exactly ideal, but she's still clocking in, still doing the work. And in today's digital world, none of this goes unnoticed. Every post, every unfollow, every lyric is examined under a microscope, and Howard wanted it that way. She made sure everyone, teammates, fans, the front office, knew exactly how she felt. But the real damage, this drama will follow Bonner. Wherever she goes next, her reputation takes this with it. Teammates will remember, coaches will remember, and fans, they'll never forget that when it got rough in Indiana, Bonner quit. Future coaches are going to think twice before trusting DeWanna Bonner. If things don't go her way, will she just walk out again? That's the question now hanging over her name. Meanwhile, Natasha Howard is doing the exact opposite, showing she's reliable, committed, and built for the long haul. That's the kind of reputation that extends careers and earns respect across the league. The timing of Bonner's exit couldn't have been worse. She didn't bow out in the offseason when teams can retool. She dipped mid-season, leaving the Fever scrambling. Her departure didn't just mess with the rotation, it created chemistry issues, roster gaps, and threw the entire locker room into chaos. The team had to waive Bonner and bring back Ari McDonald on a hardship deal just to keep the roster functional. That's not how a professional organization wants to operate, and Howard clearly wasn't about to let it slide. Her posts weren't just shade, they were a stand, a message to the fans, to the front office, and to the league that not everyone is giving up. Howard wasn't just trying to protect the locker room. She was protecting the reputation of the Indiana Fever. She wanted the world to know that some players still have fight, that there's still belief in the mission. Her "We Not Done" post wasn't just aimed at fans, it was a shot across the league. Other teams might be looking at Indiana and thinking it's over, but Howard made it clear they're still in the fight and they're not letting one quitter define the rest of them. From a leadership standpoint, what Howard did was powerful. This is exactly the kind of example Caitlin Clark and the younger players need. When one veteran walks out, out, it can fracture a locker room. But when another veteran immediately steps up and says, "We're not done," it changes everything. That message hits hard. The difference in professionalism couldn't be clearer. Bonner vanished. No explanation, no accountability. Just left the team to deal with the media circus. Howard stood up, addressed the issue head on, and kept pushing forward. That's how veterans are supposed to lead. And let's be honest, Howard also understands the business. She knows what quitting mid-season does to a player's image. She's making sure everyone from fans to GMs knows. She's not that kind of player. She's built different. She shows up when it matters. The fact that she made all this public wasn't by accident. She could have kept it private, but instead she put it on display, likely because she wanted the message to reach every front office and every player in the league. The contrast between her professionalism and Bonner's exit wasn't just obvious, it was intentional. For Fever fans, this had to be a breath of fresh air. Watching Bonner walk away was disappointing, but then seeing Howard, another vet, step up and show that the team still has leaders, still has fighters, that likely restored some faith. And make no mistake, the impact of this situation will last long after this season ends. Howard just solidified her value, whether in free agency, trades, or future team building. She's someone who will stay loyal even when things aren't easy. Meanwhile, Bonner, she's now got a reputation that follows her, one of walking away when things get rough. That kind of label isn't easy to shake. Howard's decision to speak out publicly also revealed a new layer of leadership. She saw something threatening the team's culture and didn't stay quiet. She called it out. That takes guts, and it shows she cares about more than just minutes or stats. She cares about the culture being built. That message is going to stick with this team. Young players are watching how veterans respond when the pressure's on, and Howard just showed them how to lead the right way. You don't run, you don't bail, you double down and fight through it. And now, believe it or not, Bonner's exit might actually become the thing that pulls this team closer together. There's nothing like adversity to forge unity, and Howard's leadership in this moment could be the spark that brings this locker room tighter than ever.